Hello and welcome to a live stream concert that starts the new year in a surreal way. For those of you who have been regularly watching the live streams, you have figured out that Tuesday night I had no power. We had no power here in the house, so we had to move the live stream to Wednesday. And so thank you for your indulgence on that. Also, I want to mention that today's live stream is live stream number 60. This is the end of 5 solid years of doing a monthly live stream, during which time I think I might have repeated 1 or 2 pieces during that whole time. So that's a lot of different programs that I have been going through. So we are celebrating the end of year 5. And we're going to play 3 things today that have cello and narration. And I have the wonderful Howard Patterson, who was one of the founders of the Flying Karamazov Brothers, here to read the surreal literature. The music is not really very surrealist, but the stories and poems certainly are. So we're going to start with a story by Hans Christian Andersen called The Shirt Collar. So he was someone who wrote fairy tales, and you know everybody has heard some of his fairy tales. The Ugly Duckling, The Emperor's New Clothes, The Little Mermaid, and he tends to have sort of inanimate objects or animals coming to life and talking, and there's usually some sort of moral lesson at the end of the fairy tale. So The Shirt Collar is no different. We will have lots of inanimate objects talking. And what I've done is I have intertwined the story with music that I have not written, but I have pulled from various stylistic periods in musical literature to either highlight the theme of that particular character, or to highlight some action or word in the text at that point. So I'm going to give you a really quick run through of most of the things that I'm going to play, because you will recognize some but not all of the music, and you'll wonder what it is. So for the main theme of The Perfect Gentleman, you'll hear talk of him. I'm going to play Le Bourgeois Gentilhomme by Richard Strauss, the cello part from the opening. For those of you who are classical music lovers or own a Samsung washing machine, you will hear The Trout by Schubert. When we speak of where someone lives, we will hear On the Street Where You Live from My Fair Lady. The Pretty Little Dear has a song by Frank Crumit from about 100 years ago, and there's another song from about 100 years ago called Dashing Away with the Smoothing Iron as the theme for the iron. The Train Whistle by American cellist Aaron Minsky highlights a little bit of the action. The Ballerina has as her theme The Swan by Saint-Saëns. And because a bootjack, you'll hear definitely a talk of a bootjack. A bootjack is similar to a shoehorn. And so
it's sort of the opposite of a shoehorn, in that a shoehorn puts shoes on and a bootjack removes them.
Okay, they're in the same category of
I
things
would
going
have to
on
agree.
and off your feet.
Yes.
So I'm, for the theme for the comb, who talks about the bootjack, I'm going to use a really weirdo song from They Might Be Giants called Shoehorn with Teeth. You'll hear some Billie Eilish at the end and some Taylor Swift. Paper Rings is her song. And this is our rendition of The Shirt Collar by Hans Christian Andersen.
There was once a perfect gentleman whose whole household goods consisted of one bootjack and a comb. But he also had one of the most remarkable shirt collars in the world. I'll tell you a story about it. When the shirt collar had passed his prime, he turned his thoughts to marriage. In the fullness of time he went to the wash, and there he met with a garter. My, said the collar, so slender, so tender, so neat and nice as you are, I never did see. May I know your name?" "No," said the garter, "I won't tell you." "Oh, then at least tell me where you live," asked the collar. But the garter was so modest that she couldn't bring herself to answer such an embarrassing question. "I believe you are a girdle," said the shirt collar, "a sort of underneath girdle, and I dare say you're as useful as you are beautiful, my pretty little dear." "I forbid you to speak to me," said the garter. "I'm sure I haven't given you the slightest encouragement." "Your beauty is every encouragement," said the shirt collar. "Kindly keep away from me," said the garter. "You look too masculine." "Oh, I'm a perfect gentleman," said the shirt collar. "I've a bootjack and a comb to prove it." This wasn't true at all, for they belonged to his master, but he liked to boast. "Please don't come so close," said the garter. "I'm not used to such behavior." "Prude," the collar said, as they took him from the wash tub. They starched him, hung him over a chair back in the sun, and then stretched him out on an ironing board. There he met with a metal iron. "My dear lady," said the collar, "you adorable widow woman, the closer you come, the warmer I feel. I'm a changed collar since I met you. Without a wrinkle left in me, you burn clear through me. Oh, won't you be mine?" "Rag," said the iron, as she flattened him out, for she went her way like a railway engine pulling cars down a track. Rag was what she said. The collar was the worse for wear at the edges, so the scissors were fetched to trim him. "Oh," said the collar, "you must be a ballet dancer. How straight you stretch your legs out. Such a graceful performance. No one can do that like you." "I'm well aware of it," said the scissors. "You deserve to be no less than a countess," said the collar. "Ah, all I have to offer is my perfect gentleman, bootjack and comb. Oh, if only I had an earldom." "I do believe he's daring to propose," said the scissors. She cut him so furiously that he never recovered. "Now I shall have to ask the comb," said the collar. "My dear, how remarkably well you've kept your teeth. Have you ever thought of getting engaged?" "Why, of course," said the comb. "I am engaged to the bootjack." "Engaged!" said the collar. there was no one left for him to court, the collar pretended that he had never meant to marry. Time passed, and the collar went his way to the bin in a paper mill, where the rags kept company according to rank, the fine rags in one bin, the coarse in another, just as it is in the world. They all gossiped aplenty, but the collar chattered the most, for he was an awful braggart. "I've had sweethearts by the dozen," he told them. "Ladies never would leave me alone, and you can't blame them, for I was such a perfect gentleman, stiff with starch, and with a boot jack and comb to spare. You should have seen me then. You should have seen me unbend." I'll never forget my first love, such a charming little girdle, so slender and tender. She threw herself into a tub of water, all for the love of me. Then there was the widow, glowing to get me, but I jilted her and let her cool off. And then there was the ballet dancer, whose mark I bear to this day. What a fiery creature she was! And even my comb fell so hard in love with me that she lost all her teeth when I left her. Yes, indeed, I have plenty on my conscience, but the the girdle, who drowned herself in the washtub, is the one I feel most badly about. Oh, I have a black record, and it's high time I turned into spotless white paper. And that's exactly what happened. Into paper, and the collar became the page I'm reading now, the very paper on which this story is printed. That was because he boasted so outrageously about things that never had happened. So let's be careful to behave better than he did, for you never can tell. Someday we may end up in the rag bag and be made into white paper on which the whole story of our life is printed in full detail. Then we'd have to turn tattletale on ourselves, just as the shirt collar has done.
That was The Collar by Hans Christian Andersen. Next, we're going to play a work by the composer Tina Davidson. She is a wonderful composer that lives in Philadelphia. She wrote this piece which is called Lost Love Songs in 1997. And I've played several of Tina's works when I was in the Colorado Quartet. I played her string quartet, and then when I conducted youth orchestras, we actually did a couple of her works. So I'm really, really happy to be playing something of hers. She wrote this piece as a collaboration with the choreographer Anna Sokolov, and it itself is based on a collaboration between the poet Paul Éluard and the artist Max Ernst, who is a surrealist. They're both surrealist artists, and they, in 1922, wrote a book called The Misfortunes of the Immortals, which is a book that combines poetry with kind of line drawing, and they were inspired with one to the other to put this book together. So what Tina did is she took 7 of the poems and took snippets of them and then wrote music that was inspired by these poems. So Howard's going to read the poems as they exist in the snippets that Tina pulled out. So she often pulls out just the first line and maybe a verse or two from the poem. And so what I'm going to do is I'm not actually going to play the entire piece. There are 7 movements, and it's a little bit long for this program. So I'm going to play 4 of them. I'm going to play movements 1, 3, 6, and 7. Howard's going to read all of the poems, which are, as I say, they're excerpted, so they're pretty short. And what I'm going to do on the ones where I'm not playing the full movement that Tina Davidson wrote, I will play just the very end of it as a sort of connector. Since she snippeted from the fronts of the poems, I'm going to play the ends of the movements and square it all up. So this is the 7 movements of Lost Love Songs by Tina Davidson.
1. The Meeting of 2 Smiles. In the kingdom of the hairdressers, those who are happy do not spend all their time getting married. Forgotten Pleasures. Robert has given his curiosity an outlet by means of pin pricks. 3. The cleaning of the tile does not make the cleanest love. To keep her from endless discussions which slowed down their usual love-making, the priest locked up his young and lovely wife in a secret place. Hidden in the lilacs, the prisoner, though enclosed in tiles, keeps before her curiously perfect memories. Four, stark naked in the streets. In the time of Here Are the Hearts, everything can be converted into a stadium for humming tops. Those of us in love disclose all the difficulties. Five, the hour of keeping silent. Near the lip seen on the water, the coquette, whose hair has lost its curl, promenades the light in her eyes, eyes as plump as Cupid's. Six, agreements and useful things. No one has divined the dramatic origin of teeth. One day, the equator dispelled the terror of heat. She shows us of the old wolf who wishes to live with her in understanding, having loved and fought her all his life. 7. A fly on his hand. A fly on his hand. The sun pulls at the swallows. They leave the water to walk on the fields. Their feet give off the perfume of lizards. So it would be a marriage of good intentions.
That was Lost Love Songs by Tina Davidson. So our last piece today is The Sorcerer's Apprentice. This is a poem by Goethe, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, which was written in 1797. And it is about the assistant to a magician, a sorcerer, who, when his master goes away, decides to stop doing his work and to use a magic spell to turn a broom into a living thing to carry buckets of water. And it all goes terribly wrong, and there become many brooms and a flood, and finally the master comes back and saves the situation. 100 years after the poem was written, in 1897, a French composer named Paul Dukas wrote a wonderful, vivid, colorful piece for full orchestra that really closely follows this story by Goethe. And if this story sounds kind of familiar to you, it's because in 1940, Walt Disney used the music from the Paul Dukas orchestral piece, plus this Goethe story, and he gave Mickey Mouse the role of the Sorcerer's Apprentice, and he used this in his movie Fantasia. And if you haven't ever seen this after the live stream, you should go look it up because it is really very wonderful. And Disney uses the complete Dukas work, which is fairly elaborate. We have a little bit of a shortened version today, but Howard is going to read the Goethe poem, and I'm going to play a solo cello version that was, I first found there's a cellist named Valentin Erben who wrote a solo cello version. I don't think I would have been brave enough to do it if he hadn't done it first. And so I used his as a blueprint, and I'm playing 40 or 50%, I think, of what he wrote, and then I kind of rewrote a lot of it for my own needs. This is our version of The Sorcerer's Apprentice. And maybe I'll tune my cello first, hang on.
Now that the old sorcerer has left me on my own at last, I can make his forces labor just exactly as I ask. I've learned in this tower all his words and spells. With these mental powers, his art is mine as well. Walle, walle manche Strecke, das zum Zwecke Wasser fließe und mit reichem, vollem Schwalle zu dem Bade sich ergieße. Hurry, hurry, fetch the water, bring it quickly, come get going, fill the buckets and don't dawdle, fill the bath, we need it flowing. Come on, you dry old broomstick, wrap yourself in these old rags. Servant is what you are, Toothpick. Obey me now, and do not lag. Stand up here on two legs. Screw a head on top. Run down to the stream's edge with the water pot. Bring it quickly, come, get going. Fill the buckets and don't dawdle. Fill the bath, we need it flowing. Look, it's running to the river. See, it's made it to the stream. Like an arrow from a quiver, shooting its way straight to me. They run back already for the second time, filling buckets steadily as the water climbs. Cease now. Cease now. Stand and heed me. Halt. Obey. I must be heard. Oh, now, what now? I can't believe this. I don't know the magic word. word to end this madness. Ah, it's going to be my doom. Endless water. Oh, what badness. Stop, please, and just be a broom. Non-stop, it keeps hauling water from the stream. Soon, I will be crawling, drowned among the bream. Any longer. Nasty creature! How deceitful! Oh, this couldn't be much longer. Ghastly features! Oh, it's evil! Fie, you wicked spawn of Satan! Would you have the whole house drown? Water's pouring down the stairwell, water's gushing all around. You're a wicked broomstick pretending not to hear. Turn back into wood, imp, or I'll teach you to fear. Will you not just cease your running? I must catch you. I must snatch you. Though you may be fast and cunning, this sharp axe, it will dispatch you. Look, it's back, and still it's hauling. I will thrash it now, but good. Soon, you goblin, you'll be slaughtered. Bullseye, sliced into the wood. Perfect, right on target. Ha, it's now in two. And now I can hope that this whole trial is through. Worry, 2 live pieces. This increases all my problems. Help me, please, oh higher powers. Save me from these 2 new goblins. Still they're running, wet and wetter. Down the steps, the water's falling. How appalling, all this water. Lord and Master, hear me calling. No longer pay me heed. In die Ecke besen, sei's gewesen, denn als Geister ruft euch nur zu seinem Zwecke. Erst hervor, der alte Meister. Broomstick, to the corner go now. I'm the master here. Spirits, when I need you, only then may you appear.
Thank you to Howard Patterson for joining me in this really, really fun program. Next month, so we're now, hopefully we'll be on Tuesdays. Next month, I believe it's February 3rd, it's the first Tuesday of the month. It's Black History Month, so I'll be playing some music by composers of color, and hope to see you then. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thanks and good night.